right, good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good. Welcome to Monday. I'm glad you guys are here. I know some people are off work. And thank you for coming this morning. Samir basically took everything I was going to talk about. I should have checked with him, but I'll still go through this, and I'll go through it quickly so we can have a very productive Monday. Nice job, licensing class. Nothing made me feel better than that. Seeing the class packed out, putting in more tables. And Thomas, I think you sent me something with our numbers, right? We had,
So
how many?
There was 20 total in class. We had 16 of them.
Okay. And so I'm going to call the licensing director, if not today, tomorrow, to talk to him about obviously getting another class and just put the bug in his ear. I don't know if we've earned that yet, but you know, it's always good to ask first, right? But anyway, so I want to go through some stuff real quick, and you know, Samir already kind of prepped you guys for a lot of things I'll talk about. So I'll try to have somewhat of a different twist, or you know, repeat basically what he said. So has anyone ever had somebody, because Sushil was talking to me about something, and he was telling me one of his friends said, you know, why don't you build your own Primerica? Right? Like, why don't you create your own Primerica? Right? Anyone ever had somebody say that?
Yep.
Right? And some of you guys, you know, like Samir alluded to, you know, you may have this kind of creative gene, right? So I'm not trying to knock that out of you if that's, you know, like I don't have that. I'm a very good copier, right? I can see something I like that works that I'll steal it. I'm very good at that. But some people have this creative gene. Some people also have an arrogance gene. And I don't mean that in a mean way. They just, you know, they have this weird sense of confidence that they can do, even, you know, that they can do this even though they've never done anything like this. And sometimes that's good. Because if you think about everything logically, you may not start, because why would you think you could be successful here? Okay. But when they say, why don't you build your own Primerica, obviously it's an extremely ignorant statement. And I don't mean that as a dumb statement, you could say that, but you just don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
That's what I mean, right? Obviously the vendor agreements, the legal stuff. I mean, we have lobbyists. You know, they go present before Congress, you know, on the 1099 rules versus, you know, are we employees or W-2s or independent contractors, how we get paid. Obviously, all the contracts with all our vendors, the mutual funds, the variable annuities, the legal stuff, the life insurance, the rates, paying out the claims department. Okay? I've made almost $7 million since I've been part of the company. I've paid out way more than $7 million. Okay, so if I wanted to create my own insurance company, I would be insolvent. So this is not even in the Milky Way. Is that the term? Is that what it is? Galaxy? The multiverse? This is not even, okay, but I want to talk to you, I don't mean this like, because I want you to do this, okay? So it's weird, right? It's kind of like, it's like a conflict. But you can't, and when I say you, I'm not talking to you. I might be talking to you, but I'm not, like, this is not to you, right? But like, most people can't create what we've even created. Forget Primerica. You can't even do this system. You can't create like a meeting system, a training system, an onboarding system. The discipline, the determination, the enthusiasm, the stickability, the reliability, the availability of 21 years of these meetings, of these trainings. We do these meetings. Yes, it's fun to do this meeting. When we have 50 people in a meeting, that's great. But we had to do them when there's 11 people in a meeting. Right? And I'm not this isn't about us, right? But, you know, obviously a lot of stuff goes on in our life when we're doing these meetings too. Just like everybody else. We're here. We're preparing Friday night. We're preparing Saturday morning. We're showing up. All the stuff that happens just to everybody else, and we're not immune to those problems. Same thing. Family stuff, illness, you know, when we started the business, financial challenges. All those things, but so, you know, to say your own Primerica is just, it's comical. Right? Like, you know, yeah, it's a nice thing to say. Like someone that has no knowledge of financial services and how it works would say. But even for you guys, right? Like, could you create this? And I want you to. I do. I want that that is the eventual goal, right? So, and this kind of is what Samir was talking about. Like I said, we actually didn't talk before today's training, which is kind of funny. It says, your business only grows when you find a, write it down. Your business grows when you find a, no idea. System? A leader. Okay. So your business grows when you find a leader. And back to kind of what Samir was talking about. Before you're a leader, you're a follower. Before you're a teacher, you're a student. Before you're an RVP, you're a regional leader. Before you're a regional leader, you're a division leader and a district leader, and you have to work your way up. And if you don't follow properly, you're not going to be able to lead properly. If you don't cheerlead the system, master the system, teach the system, understand the system, you can't have a system of your own. And, you know, one thing I was very happy also on Saturday, just to hear, you know, Samir called me after training, or we spoke after training, and I called him, and we were just kind of recapping, okay, how'd it go, what happened, this and that, and then obviously he was talking about Peter and Tia and their attendance, and then Val and their attendance, and, you know, obviously some of you guys are doing well, plugging people into the meetings, and the meetings are probably the most obvious part of the system, is the meetings. Right? It's the most visually obvious, but it's also for you, it's a great discriminatory thing. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not, right? Yeah. I mean, that's just it. If you show up, you believe. If you don't, you don't, right? And everybody has reasons not to. I'm talking to the Monday group, but, you know, how many people did you guys have? I know there was a couple of different things going on in class, guess. 27. 27 and 26, right? So, and I'm very proud of them, right? Because you know, we kind of had some conversations around the convention time about how we were going to try to build a system here. You know, because I was not really subscribing to a system. I mean, I have some things, the meetings, and I was like, look, you know, let's kind of dig in. Let's figure this out. And I didn't I wasn't like a dictator. We talked. We said, hey man, what do we want to do? How do we want to do this? And couple things, we've made some adjustments, and they have been doing an awesome job of cheerleading, running, mastering, teaching, and I'm not an easy person to work with. Okay, I'm not. You know, I'm not going to, you know, I call, I'm kind of on you a lot, you know, I expect certain things out of people. I'm a lot easier than I was before, and I'm a lot easier to work with than some people. But I'm not easy to work with. Okay, so, you know, what you see is not what you get. Okay, what you see up here is not, you know, it's just, I expect a lot out of them. You know, they have to call me back in 5 minutes. If they don't, they're be at the office at certain times. You know, just, and so I'm very, very happy for the limit. And have you guys done anything? You guys haven't done shit. Okay, I mean, but I'm happy for some of the progress that they've done, right? So when we make decisions, we make decisions based on making the system more efficient, not if it's easier for you. See, and maybe it's because I have kids, you know, I just don't think about myself all the time, right? Did my kids eat? Are they ready? Are they do this? Are they? And it's just like you just live like that. And so in the business, though, how can we have 1,000 people? How can we get 25 people licensed? We reverse engineer. How can I get somebody with low skill level, and that's not an insult, not a sales, not an insurance, not a financial services background, to close a sale? How can I get somebody that hasn't taken a test in 10 years to pass this exam? How can we promote 50 RVPs? How can we have 25 offices? Now I don't think for the most part that big. I'm like kind of thinking like a micro business, but I still have a bigger picture. Okay, so number one, office days. I really got this from Samir, right? Because I talk to Samir about 4 or 5 times a day. We call each other, we text each other, we joke with each other, and I don't know, was it the beginning of the year? I was calling him, and he's like always at the office. I'm like, what the hell are you doing at the office? Right? And I didn't say, what the hell are you doing at the office? I know what he's doing at the office, but I was upset that he was at the office. They put this like weird pressure on me. Go home. Watch my kids. Why are you at the office? And he's like, I gotta call you back. I'm at the office. I'm doing this. I'm like, shut up. Calling. Can you call me when you're home? You know, I gotta be at the office. Can I call you back? I'm getting ready. I gotta meet some people at the office. I'm like, Jesus, what the hell? And I know we used to show up to the office all day, but I'm still, it's 2024. It's still COVID. You know, it's not safe. You know? Don't you care about other people? You know. All right, so but he's just always at the office. I'm like, all right, man. You know, and then some things just for him started happening. He had some new people and new people showing up in the meetings, and I was like, all right, you know, and I was doing stuff at the office, but I was not like showing up at the office, right? I meet on Monday, we have an op meeting on Wednesday, so I come literally 2 minutes before I show up, right? But how many people are coming? They're like, nobody. All right, I'm not coming. This is me being honest. Like, all right, man, you got it. You're doing great, man. You're in, and I give them a little motivation. You're great. This is part of your story. It's awesome, man. Go do it. Yeah. How'd the op go, Val? They all walked out. Yeah, they just left. Right? Or if we have 9 people there, I'm like, you sure? Count again. 9. All right, I'm on my way. You know, and I literally walk in right before the meeting. Right. And so then I talked to them. I was like, hey, look, you know, maybe we should start meeting at the office. What do you think? And so we're not, or I'm not. Some people are, so I don't want to speak for everybody. But we show up on Mondays. Obviously, we're here. We show up on Wednesdays in the morning. We meet at 10 o'clock. We see Thursday at 10 o'clock, and then Saturdays we're here. So I run like a 4-day schedule where I'm in the office, and it works for me. I'm not saying to anybody, if you can show up more, you can show up more. Some of you guys are part-time, some of you spare time, I'm not talking. But, you know, why do you think it's important to show up at the office? And don't blurt out, but write down, because and I talk to these guys about this. We go through these rudimentary things, okay? About showing up, office time, meeting here, why we're not on Zoom, why we're not working remotely, why we're not doing conference calls. And even this office right here, why do you think we're here? Because of a bigger picture. I don't live near here. It's not easy for me to come here. But I know as a central location, we like this place. Now, just to be honest, that's today. Tomorrow, we could have an office in Ashburn and all you guys will be commuting there, okay? That could happen, right? Because obviously we're outgrowing this place, so we're figuring stuff out, right? But, you know, our intention is to, I mean, every time we talk, right? Because the I don't want to call them landlord, but the office managers or whatever, the intelligent offices, they're, you know, they're pushing us a little bit, right? And so sometimes when you push and you grow, part of business, you walk out, right? So that's how it works. I'm not saying that, you know, we like these guys, but at the same time, there are some constraints that we want to grow, right? So, but why is it good to show up at the office? You know, Nick Saban said something. Well, okay. Why do you think it's good to show up at the office, huh?
For me, it creates more focus.
He said, for me, it creates more focus. That's everybody. That's not just you. And it's every single person. Okay? I always talk about this when you're at home, you got the internet, you got television, you got, you know, all those distractions that for many of you, if you're like me, which many of you are, you're not great with temptation. Right? I'm not good. My bed is awesome, very comfortable, right? I like to sleep, I like to be casual, I don't like, right? All those things. I like to be comfortable. Why else is it good?
Synergy.
Huh?
Synergy.
Yeah, right. Other people, environment, culture, synergy. You see other people, how they work. And it should give you this healthy, positive peer pressure. Right? When you're at home, you're in your feelings, you're in your thoughts. Idle time is a devil's workshop. That's biblical. That's not like a self-improvement book from last year. Idle time is a devil's workshop. Nick Saban said, disciplined people make smart decisions. Undisciplined people make bad decisions. So part of the showing up to the office, it's a discipline. And I'm saying this as someone that was resisting this for a long time. Why do I have to come back? I'm good financially, but I know that the team just wouldn't grow, wouldn't thrive, because even if it was good for me, which it wasn't good for me, it's impossible for you. You can try as many times as you want, but you know. And we get it. We get people fighting us all the time. Oh, can I do this from home? The drive, this, that. I know. I wish we could do it from home. I wish we could. Trust me. I wish I could put the business in the microwave, cook, and then it'd be gone. But it just doesn't work like that. So we show up to the office and we do stuff and we meet for 20, 30, 45 minutes in the morning. We talk. Hey, what are you seeing out there? We have a little powwow. We call it a little huddle, and then we get on with our day. Some of us are there, you know, all day. Some of them are into the night. Some just a couple hours, but it's great. It's an awesome time. We're here. Anybody can come. I mean it. Anybody can come. We don't care. If you want to come, come. Some of you guys have individual satellite offices. You guys should run a play like this. And I'm not, like I said, I told you where we did this for years, for decades, right? But I'm telling you, I resisted this. At the beginning of the year, that's when I talked to Samir. He was the one doing this. So I was like, all right, man, let me just try it. And it worked. Good things started happening. And you guys see, we send pictures out. We were trying to be stupid about it. We take pictures every day. And, you know, some people just come for the picture. Licensing class. Let's talk about this. Because we had a lot of, you know, when you talk about a system, right? Every single day, people try to destroy your system. They don't mean to do it, but they just want to do it. Can I do this? Can I do that? And ask these guys. Like, my job is just to say no. Now, I don't say it like that. I listen, I digest it, but I'm wondering, like, are you just trying to change the system? Or are you trying to think short term? So we got some feedback from licensing class. Let's talk about this, because this is very important, right? I'm very excited, not just that we had 16 people in licensing class in a Virginia class, but we got a lot of people scheduled. So this upcoming week, we may have, between everybody, we might have 10 to 12, maybe even more. How many people do we have scheduled in the next week? Or how many people how many people have exams right now scheduled? Just, it doesn't matter what the date. How many? 2? 2?
One for now.
1, that's 3. 5, 7, 8, 10.
You want us to,
Yeah. 11, just in general. 11,
this week? 3?
13. Who else? Anybody? Huh? 5, so 18, 19. So say, schedule, hopefully they're quicker, right? They're more, in the next 7 days, but we call it 20 people scheduled, okay, give or take. So I'm very excited about that. Because if we get 50% to pass, that's 10 people we can get in next week, right? And because we're trying to run this play for licensing class, now we're getting resistance. Okay, so what kind of stuff did we hear this weekend? It's okay, you can read it, or you can summarize it.
Resistance to scheduling the exam?
No, the class.
Class?
Just summarize it.
Well, they just-
Class sucks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, the weekends,
Huh?
their weekends are gone.
Their weekends are gone, right? I do chores on the weekend. Am I lying? Huh?
No, yeah, that's true, that's true.
I'm not making this stuff up. I do chores. My day of laundry is gone. Ruined it. The class goes very slow. Sheila, now Samir, quarantine. So, can I do training or we good? What was I saying? Oh yeah, what else? The instructors, there's too many questions, it's too much material, all that stuff. And it can kind of permeate your brain. Okay, so some of you guys, right, you guys are running your own play with class. I've been telling you, and my guys asked me, well, can I do the Chantilly class? Can I do the Springfield class? You can do whatever you want. And you can run your own system, because that's what you're doing. But my guy, and they're this and that, okay, fine. You're not running a play. I'm running a play. And I know it sucks that the class is once a month. But I'm going to run a play. You can give them Zoom. You can give them self-study. Now, some states have different things, but if we hire them in Virginia, we're putting them in class. Tyson's class. What else did we discover with class this weekend? What were you telling me? Yes. Right? Because...
Oh, yes, yes.
Go ahead.
It's great that we're there, so we can take them out to lunch, we meet them in person, give them snacks, they feel important. We notice that other people who are not with us,
Right.
they started asking us for snacks and things like that. And I'm sure their leader is going to hear from that.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say at the end of class, like Thomas, like right as class ended, they were all scuttering to the elevator. Thomas stopped them. So being like what she said there, you're allowed.
Yeah. Because that's why we have them here. You guys are, I'm assuming, okay, I could be wrong, you're not meeting your people at class. You're not there Saturday in the morning before class. You're not there Sunday night at class when they're in Rockville or Gaithersburg, and I'm not expecting you to do that. And sometimes it's unavoidable, but you're choosing to do those things. You're choosing not to put them in Chantilly where they're out there and their offices, right? Our guys were here. They're taking their people out to lunch. They're giving them snacks. The other people were jealous. There's 3 or 4 other people that are not part of our team. Oh, can we have some? And she said, no. Right? I was instructed. No, hell no. Absolutely not. This ain't no one team, one dream. It's our team and you bums. Okay? But think about that. They're there. Where's my guy? I want to work with these guys. They're all going out to deal. What sucks by yourself, at least you have like a group of people. We're going to go. No one likes going to class.
Yeah.
Nobody. And so you know, part of this too, right, and this is when we talk about cheerlead the system, you have to learn how to sell every part of this, right? We were doing an exercise in one of our morning meetings, and I was asking Sushil, right, hey, you know, sell it to me why you want to get securities license. Sell me how to get licensed, right? And who was in that meeting? And what did he say? Yeah, man, so, yeah, you gotta study every day. You gotta take thousands of questions. Have you ever got a migraine from looking at a computer? I was like, this ain't, yes, I don't want to take it. I'm about to not renew my license. You've done such a good job. Right? Yeah, you're not selling it to them. You're discussing, you're vomiting, you're being negative about it. Yes, it's a one-time, 2-day cram course. You're going to learn everything. You know, you have to learn how to sell and market these things that we're doing. Training, showing up, scheduling your exam, taking your exam. Hey, this is a lot of people, they don't pass this hurdle right here. You know, it's got to be a way of life. You're always closing, always teaching, always selling, every single thing. You know, it's funny, like it's neat in being, having a kid in high school because they teach you, you're on all these threads, right? So I'm on the thread that my son gets from his coach. And they place third in the region. They're a good team. And I was telling man, I love this coach because he's always selling. He's always selling. Hey, you guys need to be hydrated. He goes, you need to be this, and he'll send a statistic, you're going to go 25% farther, faster, longer, everything when you drink water. He'll sell a text on stretching. I'm like, damn, this guy is like, he's got it. This is why you need to stretch. This is why you need to be flexible. People think young people don't, and he'll go through this whole thing, and these kids are reading it. Even if they're not reading it, I'm reading it. I'm like, man, this guy, he's going to tell them, he's going to sell it, he's going to market it, he's going to repeat himself. That's what we have to do. Sushil, if he comes to me and says, man, class sucks, oh, I know it sucks. That's weak, man. That's not a leader. Now, you can be empathetic, say, hey, man, what happened? Listen, I'm not saying dismiss it, but then you say, hey, man, don't worry about it. Did you tell me something positive you got from it? Did you learn anything? But one day you're done. You never have to go through this again. And I will work with you. And this is what he does, right? I'll work with you. I'll study. I've gotten 12 people licensed. I can help you. I'll hold your hand. I'll study. We'll study together, and then you're done. Right? But you got to sell and market it. Because some of you guys are still doing this, what are the what are the pros of studying on your own? I know there are pros of studying on your own, so it's okay. This isn't a trick. I want to know.
Flexibility.
Okay.
Well, that, and I realized with the securities crash course this weekend.
Hold on, just life. Then we'll go to securities. Yeah, that's a whole different animal.
But it's the interruptions from other people while the teacher's talking.
Yes. Is that a big thing?
Yes.
Right? When you go to class, they just went over that. Why'd you ask that? Are you serious? Sometimes, and look, class is class. When we have the same problem sometimes with examiners. Examiners show up late. Examiners can't get the vein, right? All that stuff happens, right? God, man, this class sucked. There are people sleeping in class. There are people sleeping in class. That bothers me. It's disrespectful to the instructor, right? I hate that. And that's why, for us, we can hopefully monitor a little bit more with our guys. But even then, if we want to have 1,000 people licensed and have 50 people in class, it's going to happen. What are some benefits of going on your own? Obviously, you can go right away. Okay? You can start studying. So I can hire Rod. Rod starts studying right now. Now, what's the problem, though, if you start studying right away? Huh?
Takes away time for field trip.
Speak up.
Takes away time for field trip.
Right? Because now they're tunnel vision. They just want to study. Because we live in a very academia area. They just want to study. And that's okay. That's normal, right? You give them somebody a book, they're just going to be in the book. Oh, I'm working. No. We got to see people. We got to bring people to the op meeting. We have to go on appointments. We have to commit to 10, 15, 20 field training presentations. What are some other benefits? From studying on your own?
Middle of the night study.
Okay. Flexible studying.
The multitasking.
People study on their own. Do they take the exam?
No.
I mean,
Yes.
have they? Sure. Do they? No.
No.
Okay? The company said if they don't go to class, it's single digits. Single, like 2, 3, 4%. Okay? So you can always try to be the unicorn and fight everything. And I know, well, I did this, I did. No one cares about you, man. Like I said, I care about large numbers. I'm happy for you, I promise. I have a lot of things I'm an exception. I am an outlier. I get that. By definition. But that's not how you build a system on outliers. You do it on masses. Dot meeting. Okay? We sell out to dot meeting. We love dot meeting. Okay? Dot meeting is efficient. It's a one-to-many presentation. It's, it's funny because but our guys do interviews, right? Some of them do interviews, and I encourage them if they want to do interviews. But like Sushil he had 2 interviews last week, and he was like telling me the whole story, this and that, and how it went, and how they cried together and they laughed together and they prayed together and walked them out together and made a commitment together and all that stuff. And then when it came down to it on the second meeting, right? I was like, hey, we're, okay, are they ready to get started? And both of them didn't have the money. And I said, see, that's the op meeting. The op meeting is going to do that all for you. I did it all for you. You went a whole way. You got up, you got down, you shed tears. I want to keep emphasizing that because he did, right? You shed tears, man. You gave him RVP contract, they signed it, the whole thing. All to come about, they didn't have the money. I would have done all that for you. And I would have done it better than you. Because I'm more experienced. And then you can just take over at the end. That's the beauty of this meeting. It works. And the awesome thing, the way it works the best is if everybody does it. If we're all aligned, it works. It's like a superpower.
Yeah.
And then the handoff. Okay, we're big on this. What's the handoff? Okay. And you can do this in anything. And this is something that we're doing with closes too. If you're new, right, and you should strive to get independent quickly. Okay? But there's still a process. You do need to incubate. You should stay in training too. So I know it's a business of contradictions. You should see your trainer. If I had some of your guys as trainers, I would be witnessing as many field training observations, presentations, closes as possible. I mean it. My trainer was amazing, and I loved going out with him. Now, it didn't make sense because I had so much going on. He was slowing me up, and that's the way it should go. But anytime I could prick his brain and learn and get stuff, and you guys, there are a lot of trainers in like that, right? So if you want to go out on your own, what I would recommend is if Peter's out there and he's on his own, and then when it comes to close, call Tia. Hey, many of the appointments you go on Zoom, just jump her in on Zoom. If I was going out with Ismaldo, right, and Ismaldo's got some new people, got to get them licensed, maybe they're not ready to go on a full appointment, but you go, and then when it comes to quote or the close, call them in. That's like the greatest way to leverage your trainer and get independent and scale. We do this with recruits. Because people get funny at the end. Right? That's where you need the trainer. When the bank account, the routing number, the payment. And so Sushil will meet somebody or Hi will meet somebody, and then then bring them to your manager, bring them to me, and then we close them up. We get them started. It works. Right? This is a great way. It edifies. It leverages. Is this it? Huh? let's get all these people licensed. In 2 weeks, or 2 weeks from Saturday, we have our hibachi, which is right before the holiday, right? So we want to get as much done as we can. That's why we intentionally set that incentive. Thank you for coming this morning. We got some awesome things going on. We're gonna have a great event. All right, make sure you're here, be productive, set some appointments. I think if you want to check the calendar, I think we're here every. Yeah, we will have that training on Saturday, the 31st, is that 30th? 30th. We'll be here, so. We'll see everybody all month and also November, right, Team Month.